Hi guys, it's Lisa, and today we're gonna make, what are we making, Liv? We're making meatball subs. And actually, we're kind of just, what we're doing is kind of meal prepping a couple dinners. So we're gonna make Italian meatballs and in a sauce. One of those, we're gonna like split it in half. One of those meatballs and sauce is gonna be for spaghetti next week. And the other is gonna be for tonight's dinner, which is gonna be meatball subs. We got some French rolls at the grocery store, and we're just gonna put the meatballs on the sub, and we're gonna cover it with some mozzarella cheese, which is the best cheese ever. And that's what's gonna be quick and easy meal tonight. We have a very busy evening, so we're gonna do something quick. So right now, I'm just cutting up some basil. This is gonna go in our sauce. So we're gonna make our meatballs and our sauce. We're gonna go over our ingredients, okay? Tonight in the meatballs, we're gonna use Parmesan cheese, and I will put in the description box how much of each, okay? So Parmesan cheese, 2 cans of San Marzano tomatoes that are crushed. These are 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. We're gonna use about 2 tablespoons of this tomato paste. These are breadcrumbs that we, soaked in milk, which I will explain further in the video. Garlic. This is parsley, green peppers, and onions. This is one large yellow onion. And here, what I'm doing now is I am cutting up basil for our sauce. We're gonna use a little bit of sugar in our sauce and a little bit of salt and pepper as well. So all the ingredients that I described are in the meatball. The kind of meat we use for the meatball is several kinds of meat. We use 1 pound of ground pork, and we use 1 pound of lamb, and we use 1 pound of 85/15 grass-fed beef, okay? So basically 3 pounds of meat is what we do. So right now, let's get our sauce going before we roll out our meatballs and do that. Let's get our sauce going, okay? So can you come over here, Liv? So into this pot here, I'm first going to put some, hold on, grab some olive oil. I'm first going to saute my onion, the whole onion, because half of that onion is gonna go in our sauce, and the other half, let's see, I put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. So half that onion is gonna go in our sauce, the other half is gonna go in our meatball, okay? So when you guys are gonna be watching this video, it won't be the same day as today, but today for us is Wednesday, and Wednesdays are pretty busy in our house. Kids have school, obviously, but also it is their youth night at church, and we have like a really cool Bible study that we do. I'm also gonna salt the onions and pepper the onions as well. Okay, and let's see, yeah. Now let's just let that, we're gonna put a lid on it. It'll cook a lot quicker if we put a lid on it. Okay, let's put our meat in our bowl. That's about enough basil that we need for that sauce. Yeah, so it's a really busy day for us on Wednesdays. So I try to get, what we're gonna eat for the night. And then Thursday's really busy. And I'm gonna wash my hands because this meatball, you have to use your bare hands. You cannot make this meatball without bare hands. You have to get in there. So because of that too, I'm gonna take my ring off. Okay. yeah, it's just a really busy Wednesday. Wednesdays are busy. And then Thursdays, I'm not even sure what Robert and the kids are gonna eat tomorrow. I have to think about that. You know, our lives can be busy just like anybody else. Sometimes I plan meals, most of the time I don't. I usually get the idea of how the day's gonna go and whether I need to pick up something to cook or not. That way there's less food waste. I always find that when I'm planning, you know, oh, I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna make that, and I go to the grocery store, a lot of my produce ends up basically going bad, right? Because I don't have the time to cook it. Or, yeah, it's just wasteful. I waste it, or I buy too much of it. So yeah, I tend to shop for, you know, the basics. And then I'm one of those people, I'm old school, I guess, because I still go to the grocery store. I love it. I love people. I love being around people. So I love just going in there and talking with everybody and seeing how they're doing. And so yeah, I just, I go for the basics once a week. And then, yeah, go for the basics about once a week. And in that grocery shopping, I get like 2 meals that I know I can do. I mean, I've got 7 days ahead of me. These 2 meals I'm definitely gonna make. And then I get the basics, stuff for like, you know, lunches and breakfast, and that's about it. So in this, the 3 pounds of the different meat that we have, we are going to add our, let me wash my hands real quick. We're gonna add, I get garlic paste. I like fresh garlic just like anyone else, but this is really handy. It is. So I'm gonna do about a tablespoon of garlic paste into that. I'm also gonna do, I'd say a good, I'd say that was a cup. I'm gonna put about a cup of Parmesan cheese in there. I'm gonna put, let's see, 1, 2, 3, that's about enough. 3 tablespoons of chopped flat leaf parsley. That was our oven, ready for our meatballs to go in. And then I'm gonna put our bread that's been soaking in the heavy cream. I'm gonna put that and the cream. The bread and the cream goes in, okay? Okay, and then we're going to, we don't have to put quite, you know, that much salt in here because you've got the salt with the Parmesan cheese. So I'd say like 2 good pinches into there. And then black pepper. You know, one thing I think I forgot to take out of the spice drawer is, which we put in our red sauce, is red chili pepper flakes. That goes in the red sauce. Let's see how our onions are doing. Since these onions are gonna go in our meatball. So I'm gonna give those a couple minutes. And then I'm gonna toss half that onion into this meatball and start making the meatballs. I'll do that in just 1 sec. And I also wanted to include that the kind of bread I use in this meatball is anything rustic. Like, this is an artisan type bread here. Doesn't have to be this brand. I usually like to pick one up that's like roasted garlic, or like this one has cheese in it, and that's fine. I am going to, right now, I'm going to cut this open and I'm going to put it in the oven. About 450 degrees for about, I'd say 15 to 20 minutes, and I do slice it open. But I do keep my eye on it I will have to say that sometimes, you know, just because everybody's oven is different, that having it on 450, even 10 minutes is enough for some ovens, but I check it about after 10 minutes and just see where it's at. I'm looking for it to get to be a golden brown, but most of all, I'm just going to do this like right now, it's in the AM. So I'm gonna do this early morning and I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna sit it on the counter and it is gonna be dry and crumbly by the time, let's see, by the time this evening, about 5 o'clock when I get ready to make the meatballs. So just, you know, when you can think of it, you could even do it a day ahead, a couple days ahead of time. Just dry the bread out. If it's already stale, then you're good. You don't even need to do this process. All right, thanks. Okay, everyone. All right, so what I did was I took, after I, you know, got the oven heated up and toasted the bread, I took half of it and I didn't use all of it. The other half I'm gonna use for breadcrumbs, you know, to use at a future date. But half of it is now in this bowl. And if you can see, these are very small pieces that I chopped up. Not fine, but like tiny squares, okay? So don't ground it up fine like breadcrumbs, just like about that. And I have some heavy cream here. And so I'm gonna open that up. Oh, sorry, moving my camera everywhere. So yeah, so I'm going to take the cream. And this process is something that you do, obviously you're gonna do this because now the cream, once you cover it in cream, it's going to sit for at least a half hour. You're gonna come back and check it. And then I will tell you guys, I'll come back and I will tell you, I'd say about, I use a cup of cream. Okay, so now I've got a cup of cream in here and all this is gonna go inside your meatball. So I have a cup of cream here and I'm just gonna pat down all those breadcrumbs, okay? Because I really want, I know it's so silly. You get the bread extra hard. One thing I thought was so weird the first time I made this, I was like, I tried it with the bread soft and not getting it, I didn't use stale bread, if you will. And it just wasn't the same. There's something about using stale bread, even though you're gonna get it soft, right, inside this cream, and you're gonna let it sit now. That looks like it's pretty good and covered. Okay, so now I'm gonna let this sit for half an hour, okay? And then I'll be back to show you guys the rest of our ingredients and how we're gonna assemble our meatballs together. See you in a minute. Okay guys, I also forgot to mention that you're gonna use 1 egg in this recipe. So I just put an egg, mix it up. Now I'm pouring it into this amazing meat mixture. Okay, now bare hands, okay, clean hands. I'm going in and I'm gonna start mixing our meatball. Too bad I didn't know how to sing opera. You know, I could do some kind of, you know, opera.
What are you making it?
That's amore. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza bag, that's amore. Olivia's telling me not to sing, but look, she just jumped in. Okay, oh my gosh, you guys. That smells amazing. Yeah, so I'm just mixing it.
No, I don't like that.
Okay, just mix and mix and mix and mix.
It's just the thought of
and then we have
meat.
A cookie sheet. What is it?
It's just the thought of raw meat.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why.
totally. Well, it just looks really so good. Gross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we're gonna do, we have this cookie sheet here and it's lined with parchment paper. We have an oven that is preheating to
400.
Is it 400? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna show you about the size. Now I come from a family that is Norwegian And they are known for their Swedish meatballs. I don't know why they're not Swedish. Somebody explain it to me. I'm confused. But I've been making meatballs since I was little. I remember as far back as being in first grade and still started to do it. So I can whip them out pretty quick. That's about how big we're gonna make these meatballs, okay? So I'm gonna roll them all out, and then I'm gonna show you this pan all filled up, and I'll put it in the oven, and we're gonna start on our sauce, okay? Okay, here's our meatballs rolled up on the pan, on a cookie sheet. And we're gonna stick them in a 400-degree oven. And they're gonna be in there between 20-25 minutes. We'll check it, okay? And I'll let you know in the description box below how long exactly those were in there, okay? So now with our sauce, come over here, Liv. So I added the green pepper. You want to show 'em? I added the green pepper.
And salt and pepper.
Okay, 1 whole green pepper, some more salt and pepper on top of that, half a yellow onion, okay? So here we go. In we go with 1 can of San Marzano crushed tomatoes. You know, some people, when it comes to like any red sauce, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, everyone's probably like me, where it has to be a precise like kind of tomato. And for me, I will only use San Marzano tomatoes when it comes to making a red sauce. But, you know, like I've said before, if you guys know of a better tomato that's canned, I'm putting 2 tablespoons of tomato paste in here. If you know of a better one, let me know. Okay, so now we got the 2 cans and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm gonna add about, let's see, 1, we like spicy, 2, I'd say that was a teaspoonful of red chili pepper flakes. 2 pinches of salt, black pepper, and I'm gonna add a good amount of garlic. We like garlic in this family. So I'd say that was about, you know what, let's just finish that out. Well, there's a little bit left in there. Okay, I'm gonna turn this up now. All right. So now we're just going to, I'm also gonna add, because the olive oil was looked like we needed a little bit more before I added the sauce. Olivia's laughing at me. I'm gonna add
More.
just like a teaspoonful, did you hear more? Like a teaspoonful of olive oil, okay? So here we go. Our sauce is doing its thing.
Let me see how it looks.
Now, I also,
Oh, let me smell it.
I'm gonna add a little bit of water to our cans, just so I can rinse them out, you know, and get all the tomato that's in these cans. I didn't add a lot. Maybe I should show them, Liv.
Okay, come over here.
I'll just put them both in 1 can.
Okay.
See, not a lot of water in that can.
And that was 2 cans.
Yeah, I just put this much. Clean both cans out with that. I'd say that was a half a cup of water.
Okay.
Half a cup of water, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to put sugar.
Okay.
I'm going to put a little sugar, okay?
Okay.
You know, this whole, you gotta measure everything is so funny to me, because I'm like,
You never think about
put
it.
some of this, put some of that. I'd say because of this amount, let's do a tablespoon of sugar, okay? Let's do a tablespoon.
I think that was a little more.
You do?
Yeah, maybe like
Yeah, whatever.
1.5.
That's Livia for you. Okay, let's see now. Okay, now I'd say that is 2 tablespoons of basil that we're putting in there, okay? So here we go. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Alright. I wanted to share something with you guys. Last night, well, when I woke up, I should say, I woke up to, and I don't know if this happens to anybody else, I'm pretty sure it does, but sometimes the Holy Spirit will wake me up with a praise song. And it was amazing. He woke me up with a praise song, and then, because I usually play praise and worship music when I sleep, but there wasn't anything playing on my phone. There was just, it was in my head. So I thought that was really cool. But then as I was getting up, my phone started a video, and it was Priscilla Shirer. I don't know if anybody else listens to Priscilla Shirer, but let me tell you, that woman is, she's anointed. And the message was so good. It was amazing. And the message, I'm going to leave that below too in the description box, this sermon I'm talking to you about. But the sermon had something to do with how, in this life, like, we get so busy of like trying to be someone or trying to do something. And, here's like little old me, right? I'm taking care of my family, my kids, my husband. I'm cleaning house, I'm mopping floors, and I'm making dinner, right? And how is this significant? The giftings and talents that God put on my life, right? Like, how is he going to bless me? Or how is he going to see me? Or how will he use me? What I'm doing, how will God use it? The sermon was so good. It was just, it blessed my heart so much. Just that, this is significant. Every single thing that each and every one of us do is very significant to God. No matter how the world looks at it, or no matter how the world sees you, everything about you is significant. Even if all you're doing is just sitting in a chair and you really can't, let's say you're having trouble walking and all you can do is sit in a chair right now. You are significant. Just even in that moment, like not even being able to move, you matter to God, and he is going to use you right where you're at. Right where you're at, he's going to use you. And this sermon was so good. I'm not even joking. It was so good. But yeah, God is so good. He wakes us up, puts a song on our heart, he started my day off with just keeping my eyes focused on him, from who my help comes from, right? Because my help comes from the Lord. And so I'm going to leave that sermon below for anybody who wants to watch it. It was amazing. Also, and I hope I know how to do that. I can do that, right, Liv?
Yeah, you just copied the link.
I can do it. Okay, so our sauce is going. Our meatballs are cooking. And when those are ready to come out of the oven, we're gonna plop them into this pot here. Okay, and we're gonna cook them for about, an hour. So wow. I'll be back in a sec. Hi guys. Okay, so I just took the meatballs out of the oven. And just so you know, when you take them out, here, come in and show them, Liv. There's lots of fat. See all the oil from all the meat. So what I do is, I've got cooking hands, so to me, these are hot. So you be careful. I take each one and I kind of, I just wipe all that off. Okay, I wipe off every one of them. And then I come over here and I plop them in the sauce.
Oh, you already done a few.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that step. Okay, now, meatballs in the sauce. They're gonna cook in here for, I'd say about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, these are cooked. These, they're not really, like as far as us putting them in the sauce. Oh, and they cooked in the oven for a half an hour.
Okay.
So, the reason why they're cooking in the sauce is obviously because we're trying to get the sauce flavor into the meatball. Mm-hmm. And so it's not like we're cooking them because they're not cooked. you could very well eat one of these right now, okay? So, yeah, and then I will show you guys in a second when this is all done, what it's like all plated up on your sub roll. All right. Okay, you guys, here's the final product. All right, there's the meatballs with the sauce. I topped it with some mozzarella and some Parmesan cheese, and I toasted the hoagie roll. And now these kids are about to see what's up.
Exactly.
Oh, here, I'll show you the pot. See, there they are. And then we're gonna freeze the rest and make spaghetti with the rest. All right, good night, you guys.